Have you ever been in a conference without a tea or coffee break? If you have, you will know that people will get disintegrated or lose focus during the conference. It's the same way IT professionals feel when there is no coffee or tea menu in their breakfast. Good morning. My name is Nurudeen Papoola. I lead the Information and Digital Technologies team at Industrial Medical Gases Nigeria PLC. Industrial Medical Gases Nigeria PLC is a manufacturing company which specializes on medical gases and industrial-related gases. Today, we will be looking at the future of smart manufacturing in Africa for Africans. Have you ever thought of what the life would be without the manufacturing sector? Think about the clothes you are wearing, the chair that you are sitting on, the computer system that you are using to join this particular virtual conference today. They are all products of manufacturing sector. Already, we live in a smart cities led by smart governments with amenities like smart banking, smart grid, smart health, and smart insure. Then, the manufacturing sector, which definitely interacts with our life on a daily basis, has no choice than to be smart. This morning, I will be discussing with you today what the future of smart manufacturing will be in Africa. What are the challenges militating against smart manufacturing? Where are the opportunities? And what is the way forward? Join me as we move into the smart journey. Fundamentally, in Economics 1001, manufacturing is defined as a process of turning raw materials into finished products that will be consumed by consumers. So, on the high level, the simple way of describing manufacturing is you source your raw materials, which could be an agricultural produce. It gets converted into usable goods, and consumers will get use of that, and at the same time, recycle whatever is the leftover, which again will be used by another form of manufacturing process to also create new products. From global economic perspectives, Africans, despite the fact that they are battling with a lot of challenges, which include political instability, wars, hunger, and lack of basic amenities, their economy is still being seen as growing and encouraging, according to IMF. As at April 2024, the International Monetary Fund has rated 10 African countries, as seen in the screen now, are the largest economies in Africa, with South Africa taking the lead, followed by Egypt, Angola, followed by Egypt, Algeria, and Nigeria. You can see that each sub-region in Africa has a representative. While South Africa is taking the lead from the south, the Egypt and Algeria are from the north, while Nigeria is from the west. Then Kenya, which happen to be the seventh countries, is represented in the east. So Africa, based on this performance, are moving and has been seen as the future of the global economy. Looking at this GDP also, the manufacturing sectors has contributed close to 15% of the total African GDP. Yet, despite the fact that they are battling with wars and challenges. As the world populations keep on growing, human beings within this planet are also getting smarter, and they are getting more wisdom to devise different means of performing their daily routines in order to ensure that tasks are done in an easy way. Take a look back at agriculture. Our forefathers used hoes and cutlasses to really do their farming operations. But at a point in time, around 18th centuries, due to advancement in technologies, the first industrial revolution came into being, where machines were designed and were discovered. These are powered by mechanical devices. And this was the year we're referring to as the year of mechanics, the first industrial revolutions. Like 100 years after, the second industrial revolution came into being, and this is when electricity was discovered. Then the addition of assembly lines, which leads to mass production of some of these machines that have been discovered before, came into being. Later, the third industrial revolution came in, where digital devices came into being, the birth of internet, the discovery of www. Don't forget that the second industrial revolution, though is being powered by electrical energy, majority of the data that were discovered then were mostly analog. It is the third industrial revolutions that now convert some of this analog data into digital, and that is where a lot of discoveries were made. The fourth industrial revolution, where we are now today, is also a brainchild of the third industrial revolutions. And this is the era where digitalization has become the norms for industries, to the government, and to individuals. So there are a lot of technologies today that, if we make the best use of them, will assist us to go into the digital transformation journey. Some of these technologies are Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, big data and analytics, and the rest. Don't forget that these are new discoveries that people are making the best use of to ensure that our life gets simpler. Why won't manufacturing industry take the best of this? So these technologies can be referred to as technology enabler for smart manufacturing. As I said earlier, African nations are battling with a lot of challenges, and up to now, these deficits are still there. Part of those challenges that are militating against smart manufacturing is infrastructure deficits. The lack of power, internet facilities, motorable roads are still issues that people are still battling with in major African countries. The other one has to do with shortage of skilled labor, people with relevant skills and education qualification to really pilot the continent into the journey that we are going through. The other challenges that we have in Africa has to do with the limited investment by the government. Don't forget, some of these African nations are still battling with servicing foreign debts that they collected from the United Nations or International Monetary Funds. So while they're battling with this, larger percentage of their revenues are focusing on debt management as against infrastructures, provision of infrastructures for their populace. The last but not the least has to do with unfavorable government policies, where multiple taxations regimes happen to some of these manufacturing companies. The central government, state governments, and the local governments, where these manufacturing companies operate, tax them in such a way that the profit after tax realized by some of these manufacturing companies militates against them to even invest to maybe increase their productions or to increase more into their business. Despite that, the same way African nations has survived those challenges, there are a lot of opportunities ahead for organizations or industries or countries which embrace smart manufacturing. Don't forget that part of what will enable that smart manufacturing is the adoptions of those technologies I listed earlier in my slide. What are those opportunities ahead for smart manufacturing? So let me quickly divide this into two. First, I will categorize this as macro, then the one of micro. For the macro, this speaks to what the African nations will gain, or what the countries that adopt smart manufacturing strategies will gain. Number one, the establishment of smart manufacturing environments will lead to co-creation, inter-African trade. It means what Rwanda cannot process could be produced by Ghana. It means South Africa and Namibia will also share the same trade benefits. And this is one of the best advantages of smart manufacturing. Secondly, there will be creation of digital jobs for Africans in Africa. I mean, there will be a lot of brain gain, retention of skilled talent within the African continent, rather than brain drain that we are currently experiencing. The third macro advantages or opportunities that lie ahead of smart manufacturing has to do with reduced dependency on foreign aids. Don't forget that a lot of the investment or a lot of expenditure by some of these manufacturing companies lies in the amount they use to import raw materials or to import the spare parts of their plants and machineries. So as soon as we embrace manufacturing, the amount of imported materials or imported goods will drastically reduce. And this will definitely fetch these companies more income, or for them to retain more capital that can be used for some other things within the business. What is the main micro effect or micro advantage that the industry that implements smart manufacturing will benefit? And I want us to look at what we call a business growth and business scaling. Fundamentally, somebody will tell you that if you want to grow your business, you need to increase your investment within the business. They will ask you that you might need to increase your investment in people or technology or capital. Then definitely you will get an increased revenue. And that is truly talking about business growth. For business scaling, it is in the other way around. The fact that you want to get an increased revenue does not mean you need to also have proportionate increase in your investment of these existing resources. And this is one of the greatest advantages that you can get from smart manufacturing if organizations adopt it. It means you need to spend little on one of these three variables while you get more in return as revenue. Don't forget that you have your people, you have your process, and you have the technology. I am telling you today that the adoptions of this Industry 4.0, those technology I listed before, is what you will need to spend more on. And your people and the process, while remain the same, will now fetch you a business scaling. Then, as soon as African adopt the future of manufacturing, so we will now manage the factories of the future, since technologies will take effect. I have been telling people that they should not nurture the fear that artificial intelligence or some of these Industry 4.0 technologies will take their job. Rather, what will take their job are the same people who possess the knowledge of artificial intelligence. They are the ones that will take the jobs of those people who do not possess the knowledge of artificial intelligence. So, and that is one of the reasons why we said it is also high time for African continent countries to reform their educational curriculum so as to be in sync with what is currently obtainable within the industry. Outdated educational curriculum has also been one of the reasons why we are having shortage of skilled manpower. So in the future, the smart factory that will be inside the smart manufacturing industries will be manned by human beings and machines. Why the human being will take the decision taking and some other complex psychological process, the machines will focus on repetitive tasks, which definitely are not what human beings like to do. And the combination of this, the best of human being and the best of these machines will lead to success in the future. Don't forget that the fact that you want to adopt smart manufacturing does not mean you need to now do overhaul of entire plant and machineries that you currently have. Rather, it's just a little investment that you need. So how do we get there to this smart journey so that we will have a smart cities and a smart investment? Number one, we need to assess our assets. So what are those key assets that you have as a company, as an organization? Your people, the technology, and the process. We need to do a SWOT analysis of this. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where are the opportunities? And where are the threats? So this will really assist you to know what to do. Don't forget, shortage of skilled personnel. So it means if this is a weakness that you have gotten from your assessments, it means there's a need for you to also invest in upskilling your people. After we must have concluded our SWOT analysis, then we need now to define the KPI. So why are we moving to smart manufacturing? Is it about our consumer? Is it about the data? Or is it about creating of digital factories or virtual factory? So number one, don't forget that as cities are becoming smarter and governments is becoming smarter, the same way your consumer, your customers are also becoming smarter. So there's also a need for you to render services to them, to provide services for them in a smarter way. So customer experience should be the center point of our objectives when we're moving to smart manufacturing. Don't also forget there's a need for data. Some of these machines and plants that we already have are giving out analog data, which need to be converted to digital data that some of these industry 4.2 technologies understand. And this is one of the reasons why we need sensors, also a sort of cyber physical equipment. After we must have defined the KPI, then we now need to establish the strategic roadmap to get to this smart manufacturing. It will not be a day journey, it will not be a month journey, but it is a journey that definitely we can get to if we are desire to have to get there. So what will be the next actions? So you need to quickly take the inventory of your technology, of your processes, and of your people. Think about the best on how to manage this variable to achieve the best in ensuring that you now become so smart to service your customer, to also render returns to government. Don't also forget that the government has also become smarter in the way they rule us. So this will be the best thing in which the manufacturing sector will assist the teeming populace within the African nations. Thank you. And I think I am expecting that some of these countries like Rwanda, what they have achieved, some other countries within the Africa's nation continents will join them so that we have a smart African countries. Thank you.